Good morning, Magic. I'm Gavin Verhey from Wizards of the Coast, and today I want to talk with you about my 5 favorite cards that I've ever designed. Now, 2 exceptions here. I'm not including any of the Mystery Booster playtest cards, because while I love them very much, they're not tournament legal, so that just felt a little weird. Second of all, I'm not including Yuriko the Tiger Shadow, although it probably would make my top 5, just because I told that story already, and you can go watch that if you want to hear it. Okay, now without further ado, let's get into my top 5 cards in no particular order, starting with Monastery Mentor. Monastery Mentor to me is a great example of how you can make a really splashy card that's one of players' favorites without needing a lot of wild rules text. I was working on Fate Reforged, and I thought about having a teacher that created students. It made a lot of sense for the whole Jeskai thing we were working with prowess. And so I submitted this card as a 1 white 2/2, so very close to how it got made in the end. But the path there was a lot more circuitous. It got put into the file as a blue enchantment, and then changed into an artifact, and then brought back to a white creature, and was tried at 4 mana and 2 mana before settling in on 3 mana. Next up is another 3 mana white card, Teferi's Protection. I'd had this card in the back of my head for years, even before coming to Wizards. It's a card that would make you just vanish for a turn. And I was working on Commander 2017, and I actually only had 5 minutes before a meeting started, and I had to figure out a white card to put into the Vampires deck. I had to design something new. And I reached into the back of my head and I thought, what could this be? How about this vanishing card? That sounds cool. And I called it Vanish into Smoke. Kind of like the vampire trope, where you vanish into smoke, fly away like a bat. So I put it in the set expecting to have to change it, but everyone really liked it. And then we started playing it, played really well, so it just stuck around exactly as put into the set for a long time. 2 changes happened. The first is that Kelly Diggs came to me and said, well, you know this Vanish into Smoke idea, I think I have a better creative one. And I thought, oh man, Kelly, beating this trope is going to be really hard for the Vampires deck. What do you have? And he said, okay, what if it was Teferi phasing out Jalfir? And I said, all right, that's pretty cool. We made it that, which I think is a huge cool part of the card. The second thing was we decided to put phasing on the card. It didn't originally have that. And actually, believe it or not, it was the rules manager that came to me and Brian Hawley and said, hey, this works like it could be phasing. Could we just do that instead? Which I never thought it would be the rules manager saying, put phasing on your card, but here we go. I guess it's no surprise that the person who made Teferi's Protection also made Stunning Reversal. It came from working on Battle Bond, and I was thinking of all the different ways you could incorporate the kind of video game world into a Magic set. And a really resonant trope for me in video fighting games are, oh, you're holding on the edge of the stage and maybe you'll come back, they'll probably beat you, but you have one last shot to get up and do your worst. You're hanging on by just a thread. And so I made this card, and even it came through in the art, which I think is really awesome, kind of hanging on by a thread. And whenever you cast this, you know something big's about to happen. You've got 7 cards and 1 turn to get the job done. Can you do it? Up next is Yennet, Cryptic Sovereign. When we're working on the commander decks, one of the big things for us is making sure that each of the possible legendary commanders you can play provides a pretty different play experience, so you can build them in all kinds of different ways. And with Yennet, I was thinking, okay, well, what about an odd mana cost matters commander for the top of the library deck? And I made it, and it was a huge hit. People were enjoying playing with it, and I was having a blast. So I decided, what if we kick this up a notch? People really like this card, but could we turn it from just an awesome new commander to one of people's favorite cards ever? And so I worked really close with the creative team on both the art, but also especially the name and the flavor text to make everything here odd. The number of letters in the name is odd, the number of words in the name is odd, the number of words in the flavor text is odd, the number of letters in each of those words is odd. There's so many odd things about this card. And the art too, pay attention, you will find new odd details every time you look at it. And that makes this card, well, odd. My last card is one that you probably don't even remember, but is really important to me, and that's Serene Remembrance. When I was just 11 years old, I decided I wanted to become a Magic designer. So I started designing my own cards, and whenever friends would come over, we would draft and play with them. I did that for years. And then eventually I went pro, and all the cards went into a box somewhere, and I just forgot about it. Well, after I started at Wizards, I came home for the American Thanksgiving holiday, and my mom handed me this box. And I started looking through them, and they were all my old designs from when I was a kid, and they were all ridiculous. There was literally a card that said 0, you win the game on it. But I found this one card, and I thought, this could actually work well in Gatecrash that I was working on at the time. Demir was doing some milling stuff, it'd be a good counter strategy to that. It was a single green mana sorcery that shuffled itself and 3 other cards back into their owner's library. So I went back to work after the break, I pitched it to Dave Humphries, the lead of Gatecrash. He liked it and he put it in the set and it got printed exactly as my 11-year-old self designed it. So what do you think? Did you enjoy this kind of design video? Let me know in the comments below either way and I'll be there to talk with you more. I'll be back on Wednesday with another episode, and if you don't want to miss it, please think about subscribing. I'm going to have episodes coming out 3 days a week and I'd hate for you to miss any of them. And you can always go watch some of my old episodes here too. I'll talk with you again on Wednesday. In the meantime, may what you do today inspire what you do tomorrow. You got this.